So we enjoyed what we did so much the first time for some reason that we had to do it again. And so we were going to do it again with Dave and Aaron, but Aaron was unavailable.
Damn
And
him.
and yeah, damn him exactly. And I reached out to Keith, and Keith, who has been very vocal about, wanting to lynch me for not having him on my show, I said, you know what? Let me avoid that. And I'll reach out to Keith and have him on the show. So, Keith Bliss, how are you today?
I appreciate being called up to the minor leagues, I guess this would be. I'm like the
No,
first bench warmer. You're like, all right, we don't know who else to call. Let's call Bliss. He's not doing anything.
this is the best one. This is the best position to be in right now.
The pitcher or catcher?
We're going to be playing those roles interchangeably all night long here.
Fair enough.
And Dave, welcome back. I see.
What's up,
I see
guys?
there's a little bit more color in your hotel room there.
That's because I have the lights on.
Oh,
Yeah. The other
right,
time I
see.
was like, I turned on the lights and I saw what I looked like, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna turn the lights down low. I had just been traveling all day for work, and I was like, yeah, I'm looking a little pale.
Do you have your sad Long Island tap water with
I'm
you?
on day 4 of absolute agita, and I'm just filled with burps. I'm sitting here having trouble getting close to the microphone because I am so bloated from shitty hotel food
Wow.
that I can't, that my stomach is between me and my chair. I'm going to show you something.
Yeah.
You,
Okay.
I want
you
to see
can't hear
this.
this, but look at this. You know me. I'm a cyclist, John. I'm a
I
pretty
do know
thin
you.
guy.
Yes.
I want to show
Right.
you this. Look.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Is that like just downhill cycling? I mean, you might want to try
No,
uphill.
no. I love the ski lift.
Exactly.
I love the ski lift.
The escalators are my friend.
I take it to the top of the hill, I write it down, and then I drive the bike back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on 4 days of just chronic gas burps and lack of sleep. I've gone through probably a gallon and a half of Red Bull because I can never I don't travel for work well. Like if you could take me on vacation and we're having a great, I can eat the same, I could drink the same, but for some reason it's because I'm working, I guess. I just don't really do well when I'm work traveling. I always end up feeling awful.
I mean, are you not able to like go to a restaurant
I
nearby?
mean, I was at a restaurant last night. You know what I did? I ate like a pig.
All
And then I
right.
got sick.
I mean, okay. You know what? I have to say I respect it because you know what's gonna happen to you and you just embrace it. And you're like, look at me.
I,
I'm usually pretty fit, but now I'm a fat ass and I want to show it to you, even though the people listening can't see your fatness. But I mean, I'm
and
sure
I'm
it'll
just a
be
big bag of inflated gas.
yes.
But enough about my digestive system.
All right. I thought you
Or
were
we
just
could go on about it. I don't mind.
I mean, I
If we need
maybe
something to talk about, we'll talk
if
about your bowel movements.
if we
When
run
shit
out of
gets
stuff to
real.
say, well, I'll tell you something before we get going. I have something that I know for a fact. Maybe I don't know for a fact because I kind of like the end result. But one thing that I did not enjoy that I did for the first time today was shave at the gym. They they
That's
have
weird.
right, yeah. They have these disposable razors, like a giant bucket full of them. And they have like what they call shaving cream, but I'm not sure what it actually is. It's not shaving cream. And I'm like, oh, this is convenient. I don't have to shave at home and, you know, make a mess in the bathroom. And then Lara's going to yell at me for making a mess in the bathroom because seriously, I can't shave clean. I don't know why, but I always make a mess when I shave.
I end up with
Stop
razor
shaving your legs in
stubble.
the sink.
I
Right.
end up with shave clippings in my navel. That's a
That's
real thing. I don't know
how,
why.
what position are you in when
I'm
you
standing
Are you
there with no
you're
shirt
shaving on your
on.
head? Like,
I'm
how does that
shaving.
work?
No, my head just falls out. No, I'm shaving in front of the mirror, standing
Uh-huh.
there with no shirt on, and when I rinse it off, it just kind of flows down. I don't know
Oh,
why. It just flows down, and all things end up in my belly button.
all right. I mean, I've never seen your belly button. I don't know how cavernous it actually is.
It's
Do your
it's
keys wind up in your belly button? Like, should we
it's
be concerned?
it's happened.
do like the digs, like women with really big boobs, they complain that they're always finding like potato chips in there.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
I so it's sort of the same thing with you and your belly button.
Yeah. Jimmy Hoffa, my navel.
Okay. Nice.
I feel like there should
Nice.
be like a Benny Hill scene. You're just sitting there just pulling like sandwiches out and just like I think Peter Griffin did this once on Family Guy. He's like we found JFK in there.
Peter Griffin had a he has his own orbit. If you do you recall that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's an oldie but a goodie.
That was good. That was good. So anyway, yeah, that was my first time experience. You know, like I've showered at the gym before, and I did that tonight because I didn't feel like doing it at home. And you know, it's always very inconvenient to shower in the gym, but you do it.
Says who? I have no problem showering in the gym.
Well, I don't know. It is for me. So it's maybe because I'm just a, you know, I don't know.
You know, you could just go on with your life after working out and not take a shower. That's all that is propaganda from Big Shower. You don't have to listen to that. You don't have to listen to any of that. You can
Sponsored
just go
by
out
soap.
on natural.
Wow.
You're washing away that protective coating that nature gives you to keep you safe from disease.
Right, exactly. And you know, that's what they do. They have you go to the gym where everything is diseased, and then they have you shower off the protective coating.
So that you can add more disease.
And then you go home and then you eat the disease off of a plate. I don't know. I'm just trying to roll with it.
Just don't let Big Shower tell you, bully you into doing what they want you to do.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Keith. What's that?
I said I'm concerned. Don't ever invite me over to your house, or I'll bring like a wet nap and wipe everything down.
You know what though? If you brought a wet nap to my house and managed to clean the entire house with a single wet nap, I would be very impressed.
It's a big ass wet nap.
Yeah, right. It's the size of the Empire State Building, but it's a wet nap. Damn it! It comes in a little pouch and everything.
Dragging it in like in a garbage bag, just like right. It's like, what do you have in there? It's my wet nap.
Like I just come in with a backpack. What's in your backpack? Wet nap. And just like drop it on the table. It's that weird moist sound when it hits the table. He's like, and you're like, oh.
It's like now I just have wet nap alcohol all over the place.
Exactly.
You know, I have you ever noticed, like, I don't know, some cleaning alcohol wipey things, when you clean off a surface with it, it's just like, is it actually cleaner? Because it looks more gross after you clean it off. Like, I don't know, those
it gets cloudy. It leaves a residue. It leaves a residue.
I do the Karate Kid. I wax on and then I wax off. So I wipe one with the wet nap and then or the bleach wipe or whatever the hell wipe I'm using, and then I have another paper towel that I come through, and because I know what you're talking about, you get those weird rings and droplets, and you're like, how is that clean?
Yeah, it's like it's not clean.
Keith sounds like a man who's cleaned with wet naps professionally in his past.
I may or may not have. I cannot confirm nor deny that statement.
Did you go to KFC a lot, Keith?
I mean, we actually just got a KFC in Wilmington like 2 years ago.
Really? That's still a thing?
Yeah. Well, we had a KFC on like one side of town, but they literally built one by my house like 2 years ago.
It's just like, all right, where does Keith live? We're putting a KFC right next to his house.
Yeah, Bliss has been complaining that he can't get the KFC soon enough. So let's build one right like within walking distance.
As soon as you said KFC, I just burped in my mouth. I just burped. Wow. I tried to hold it back so you wouldn't hear it, but I was like, burp.
I mean, you know, there is a simpler way to make it so that we don't hear your burp, and that is to actually mute your microphone.
I hear that's the thing.
Yeah, it is. You know, I do that when I cough or burp.
Sound like you're a shill for big microphone.
Big
damn it. You've been bought. You've been bought.
So
you're one of the Illuminati.
Last we left off, you were talking about how much you love your bidet. Do you have? Wait a second. Okay,
cornhole's been killing me for 3 days. 3 days without my bidet away from home. It's horrible.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Bidet.
So for Christmas, I got a bidet accessory for my toilet.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Your little black background blocker for the video.
Yeah, my porn blocker. It's a bidet accessory for my toilet.
Yes.
So have you installed it yet?
I have not. It literally, you take the top off and you actually just plug it in. My only concern is it doesn't have a heater, so I don't want like frosty ice water shooting up my ass.
Unless we have another Arctic blast where it gets to be like 6 degrees out, you'll be fine.
Famous last words.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You know what, man? It's always an experience trying something for the first time, and I don't know if I've ever actually. I don't think I've ever used a bidet. I feel like I would know if I did.
You probably would remember that.
Yeah.
John's going to come over my house and just to try it, and he's never going to leave the bathroom. The next podcast, he'll be doing it from the back.
You're like,
my ears, my
hey guys, what's going on?
Hey guys,
in the bathroom.
Hey,
why is there an echo in the background?
What's going on? What is that spraying noise? What is going on?
Every other word you're. You're what is John doing? Keith. We don't want to know.
It's going to change your life, Keith. You're going to be cleaner than ever. Your trips to the bathroom will be faster than ever. Hey, let me tell you something. The summertime is fantastic. You just get home from work one day, you work too hard, and you're like, you know what? I just need a little squirt.
A little squirt.
I just need a little squirt. Feel fresh. Got to freshen up. Got to get a little squirt.
Nice.
That's fair. Probably the case.
A little squirt. There's nothing wrong with a little squirt.
No, squirt don't hurt.
And it's like you can't miss no matter where it is. You're winning. No,
you probably could miss. My bidet has 2 nozzles.
Yeah.
One for boys and one for girls.
Oh boy,
front and back.
Yeah. Ooh. I got the upgraded edition.
Yeah, see, I got the base model.
Oh,
I got the mine was originally expired. I got it during the great toilet paper shortage of 2020.
That's right.
Because the way, the one thing you need to do when you're fighting off a global pandemic is make sure you have a lot of toilet paper to wipe your ass. So I was like, you know what? I'm not scrambling for toilet paper. I'm getting a bidet.
You were one of those 3 shell guys. You're like, I use 3 pieces of paper. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty neat. I'm pretty neat about it. But I got to tell you, my life's transformed.
I mean, I
you throwing John for a loop.
John doesn't know what's happening.
No, not at all.
Doesn't happen very often that I get thrown for a loop. But I have a question forming that I don't really want to ask, but I really have to.
I'm not afraid to address toilet issues.
Well, it's not about
clearly.
It's not about making you uncomfortable. It's about how do I ask this question? I mean, do you actually use toilet paper anymore?
I just take a little bit, pat it dry. Just pat it dry.
Just covering his nose. He just pats it a couple bits.
So everything is taken care of, and it's like it's a nice little blast.
Yep.
And it just everything I guess is still how do I say, not dried on yet, so it can just come right off.
First of all, I don't know why you would have anything such dried on.
Yeah,
if you have a bidet, that should never happen. You have your own power washer for your asshole.
No, what I'm saying, like if you leave it, not that I have any personal.
Let's say if you shit somewhere where there is no bidet beforehand,
right? Okay. And no toilet paper, and no shower.
Yeah,
and no loofah.
That's what happens now.
Where the hell are you?
When I travel now for work, and that's the thing I do is when I take a shit, I look around. I'm like, well, I guess I have to take a shower now, because now just wiping, I never feel clean, and I just feel like an animal.
Yeah, but to be fair,
shower every time.
The toilet paper they give you in those hotel rooms is like just shy of like 80 grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
Although sandpaper would help to get you all clean.
It'd also get rid of my hemorrhoids too, but I'm not going to
right. I imagine it would, but you got to take the good with the bad. You get hemorrhoids, but your ass is clean. And now we've gone very silent.
Yeah, we've ventured into a weird area.
I'm just visualizing, like trying to imagine what it'd be like wiping with 80 grit, because 80 grit is brutal. That is.
You'd sound like Sam Kinison.
Wait, how about any kind of sandpaper? I don't even.
No. If you get like 800,000, it's pretty smooth.
Okay, all right.
The higher the grade, you get that high grade. It's almost like paper.
So you want it higher then, like thread count. You want it. I got you. Okay.
Normal toilet paper is 800 grit, but toilet paper in a hotel is definitely like an 80.
So if you find yourself without a bidet, like at work or whatever, and you got to take a shit in the middle of the day, you start walking like a cowboy because it's like, I don't feel clean. Right.
I feel funny. I walk funny. Like, it's not right. I realize how disgusting the human body really is.
Oh, it's an atrocity. It's awful.
You're from New York. You walk funny already. So I mean, really, we can't tell the difference.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, people can definitely tell when one hasn't wiped well because it just feels uncomfortable.
It's just like the same way, like when you have to go and you're running, like going to the bathroom and you're starting to like, get that prairie dog, as I like to call it. Some people, and you're like, oh, gotta go, and you do the waddle to the bathroom. And everyone's like,
what I typically do is I'll start like going real fast towards the bathroom, and then I cramp up from a turtle, and I'll be like, and I stop walking, and then I'm like, okay, and I start walking real fast again until I get there.
But I like how you try to play it, like everybody does it. They try to play it off. They're like, they're clinching. They're like, oh, hey, and they lean against the wall, like, it'll pass. It'll be good. I'll be fine. Nobody noticed. And then when you come back to wherever you're going, people are like, just take a shit. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you try to play it off.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you're like with fancy company. I don't
fancy
know.
Company.
Fancy,
which is what I keep all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Listen. I've seen you with Alan and Jen and their friends, Rachel and Vito and all that. It's fancy company, but when you're with, I don't mean that though. I mean like when you're at a black tie affair, and you're like, oh boy, okay, excuse me, and people notice that you've been gone for a few minutes, and then people are like, you come back and you just feel all those eyes on you, and you're like, stop looking at me. I know you know.
You know why? You know why they know? They know because you are the only person in the room that looks happy.
Right.
Everybody else is like, I got to wear a tuxedo. You're the only one that's like, this was good.
Happened to me at a Halloween party once. I was dressed as Wayne Campbell, and Lara was Garth, and I just I excused myself for several minutes, and
what do you define as several minutes?
Like, I don't even
5, 10.
I don't remember exactly what the length was, but it's like when you're in public. Now, I take a while at home, but when I'm in public, I try to go a little faster, just because it's you don't want those kinds of eyes on you. Like, you've been gone for like 2 hours. What the hell have you? No, I don't take 2 hours, but like what the hell have you been doing? So I prefer to go a little faster, so people don't think there's something wrong with me. So I don't know.
So yeah, when we go out to like Walmart, Kmart, Target, whatever, pick your big box store, and I have to use the bathroom, I'll just go off and go to the bathroom, and my girlfriend and her kids will just go off and do their thing, and they've called me out. They're like, we're not going to wait for you because you take too damn long. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
I come to terms with the fact that I'm a long shitter. I'm not one of those like quick and like wham bam, you're done.
I feel like it's a guy thing. I feel like like I've never heard of a woman like excusing herself and coming back like a half hour later. Like, I don't know, they must have a superpower about it where like they just do it and they come back like 2 minutes later. I'm like, how did you do it so fast? I'm envious.
Well, see, it's the same thing. Like, most women don't fart around men. They wait until they're by themselves. They have this like super abdominal muscles because they've have had kids, or the chronic periods for the last who knows how long. So they've built up that gut strength that they can hold that stuff in. They could probably make diamonds out of coal if we cram something in there.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hey, that was far and away not the most disgusting thing said in the last 20 minutes.
This is true.
And it's only been 20 minutes. There's so much more to go.
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Let's keep doing it. All right.
By the way, John, isn't it? You know what I realized? Wow, it is amazing how much of my life is spent talking about bidets. It's almost like I'm a shill for Big Bidet.
Big Bidet.
Yeah. Well, you're like a spokesman.
Well, that's true. I'm not a shill because I don't get paid for this. Although if I fail at this career that I'm in now, like if I ever get laid off, I will absolutely go work for a bidet company and shill for bidets.
I mean, is that like a thing, like a bidet company, or is it like part of more plumbing accessories?
I think it falls under like the umbrella of plumbing. So like you can get a job like Kohl's, Kohl, because they do the toilets and everything, because they do the toilets and I think bidets. So there you go. You'd be a door-to-door bidet salesman.
Or what you could do is like you like work at like Lowe's or Home Depot, and you could have like a big sign that says "Ask me about bidets."
That's the perfect sales technique.
That's it. Right.
That's the perfect sales technique. And you know what? The great thing is because I will be traveling as a traveling door-to-door salesman. We know what that does to my guts. We've already discussed it. I will be able to give live demonstrations wherever I'm at.
That'd be amazing.
And
live stream it on Facebook too while you're at it.
And the thing is, if you have a sign that says "Ask me about bidets," even if someone initially doesn't actually want a bidet, they're going to be curious. Be like, tell me about bidets, and then you'll talk about it, and you'll have so much passion in your explanation that people might end up just buying one.
You know what? I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I got to talk to my career counselor about this. But
all right.
I'm feeling something. I could be like, well, I've always envisioned myself as the evangelist of bidets. I want to convert the world to just an entire planet. How much cholera could we eliminate if everybody just had clean assholes in the world?
Yeah.
Well, think about all the trees you would save too.
Oh my God, it's fantastic.
All right.
Fabulous.
I could change the world.
You could.
Greta Thunberg. What does she know?
Oh,
she probably doesn't have a bidet. That's why she's so angry.
She's a very angry person, and we're
but she's passionate about her beliefs, and I understand that because I'm very angry that the world does not use bidets as much. And to me, America's biggest failure is not the increase of far-right political movements. It's not white nationalism. It's not Christian nationalism. It's the fact that we have dirty assholes. It's like everybody in America, like the conspiracy. Everybody's always like, oh, the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. No, it's not the Jews. It's big toilet paper. That's who runs everything.
Charmin.
So basically, if your theory pans out and everyone gets a bidet, there will be no political debates. There will be no racism. There will be no nothing like that. It will just
world peace.
Yeah,
world peace.
There you go.
This
world
is what
peace
Karl
altogether.
Marx wanted.
Be like
no countries, no boundaries, no border, no religion. Bidets.
It would be like that scene in The Simpsons where everyone's throwing their guns in the fire pit. Like,
exactly.
I don't need this anymore.
Exactly. What do you think John Lennon was singing about in Imagine?
It'll be two groups: people who like warm water bidets, and then people who like cold water bidets, and that's where the world will come to an end.
That's a divide right there. But then you know,
or fresh and salt water, some weird shit.
About your John Lennon thing, like we could rewrite the song. I don't know if they were as popular in the 70s. But we could update it.
Do you remember our previous podcast where we talked about the movie Carrie, and what was my recurring theme?
It was about
everything was terrible in the 70s.
Everything was terrible in the 70s. I will agree.
And one of the reasons is not a lot of bidets. Because big toilet paper had its rise because of Madison Avenue marketing companies.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I pose the question to you, what about butt wipes? I would say, those wipes are in cahoots with big toilet paper.
They absolutely are, because they know they're confronted with the challenge of the rise of bidets, and they want to hold it back. So they're like, oh, we can moisturize your ass too. We could put a little lotion in there.
Right.
And it'll be sort of clean. Oh, you don't want to install a bidet. You have this lovely wipe, like a baby's ass. But it's not. You don't want a baby's ass. You know why? Because they're fucking disgusting.
They are disgusting.
See, bidets don't have aloe.
And the thing about it is the toilet wipes, they say you can flush them. And, granted, you can flush them, but you're not supposed to, because eventually they all build up together and they cause that whole clog thing. And
there's a word for those things. What are they? I forget what for those giant blockages that they form when they harden. I forget there's a term.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wait, like a brown glacier or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the wet wipes?
Yeah, like they harden in the sewers.
Yeah.
I was about to say, are you talking about an aneurysm, or are you talking about like
it's an aneurysm?
So funny. An aneurysm.
Come on,
bam!
Hey now, come on.
Bam, we got this going on.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Tip your waiters.
Yeah. So it's funny we talk about the glacier of poo. So I actually just had to have my septic tank drained like a month ago, and literally the first question was like, "Do you guys use wipes of any sort?" No, we do not. Do you have women that live in there who use female hygiene products? I was like, God, I hope so.
So they use socks.
Yeah, right. They just wipe their nose and just call it a day.
There it is.
And
that's
like,
all.
Well, when was the last time you had your septic tank drained? I'm like, I've been here for 2 years. This house has been here for 7, so probably never. And yes, we had
a personal question.
Yeah, right.
When was the last time you had your septic tank drained?
I was like, hey, what are you doing later?
Hey, now.
I don't know why.
So yeah, I had the shitberg in my septic tank that they had to come out and harpoon because it was literally like 90% shit and toilet paper and everything else. And that's where my bidet came from. That's why I have a bidet now.
Well, now I feel left out and I have to get a bidet.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be left out.
I mean, I think our next meetup is that what we're going to discuss is compare notes. Like, how do you bidet? Oh, I use this. I do a little perfume and there we go. And like, whatever.
America's sewage system thanks you.
Excuse me.
The true heroes of America. The true hero of America. Every time I see a sewage worker, I'm like, thank you for your service.
Yeah, right. You walk up and give them a high five.
Those are the people that you need to thank.
Yes.
Hey, listen, it's sewage. I saw some documentary about that, like how sewage was the biggest thing that was ever done that led to everybody not dying at the age of 30. Because most people just died of diarrhea. I mean,
I believe it. I believe it 100%.
Yeah, everybody just died from and all the Black Death could have been prevented if they just had bidets. It all comes. Listen, it all comes around.
Like fucking indoor plumbing. Who needs plumbing? No, but you need a bidet. Like, yep, that's it.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I think that is enough about.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just before you go. I just had a visual. Remember, I'm very short on sleep. I've been surviving on beer and Red Bull for 4 days.
Okay.
So I just pictured something like, I don't know why it came into my head. And I was like, oh, it's like the future in Star Wars. They would have bidets everywhere, right? To all the Death Star. They got to handle plumbing. They don't want all that toilet paper. It's easier to just recycle the water and you jettison a shitberg into space. Here's what I just thought. Imagine Chewbacca trying to wipe his ass.
He's got little chunks on there. No, that's what he gets an Ewok. He just grabs an Ewok and just wipes it off.
Whoa! Well, that reminds me of that old joke. The bear says to the rabbit, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur? The rabbit says no. The bear wipes his ass with the rabbit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hello. Come on, guys.
And on that note,
we're getting some stinkers here now.
Listen. Let's quit while we're ahead.
This was ahead.
Yeah, right.
This show has never been ahead. This has not gotten ahead yet.
I'm gonna go with shoulders the best.
This is only the second episode, and it's only going to get better. This is, the second episode of this format, it's going to get better because the guests are going to be more disgusting. The guests are going to be, I don't know. As often as I can have Dave on the show, I'm going to, because he is like the bidet man. And
I appreciate you giving me a platform to spread the words about bidets.
And there is clearly just no shortage of things to say about bidets, wiping your ass using the disgusting like ass wipe things that get clogged up in a brown. What did you call it? A brown sludge?
The poopberg or the shitberg?
The poopberg, the shitberg,
or the assurism.
The
assurism.
And that's what makes it so wonderful. But I say ironically, let's quit while we're ahead, because I don't want to run out of things to say about it. Because you could take your notes and be like, we're gonna springboard off of this thing. And
I think it's cute that you think I could run out of things to say about bidets. You're adorable, John. If I was
all
here,
right.
I'd think
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm not much of a public speaker, so I would run out of things to say about it. I'd be like, here's my checklist. And then after like 5 minutes, I wouldn't know what the hell to say anymore. So I'm glad that you have this like infinite abundance of things to say about the bidets.
I think we need to start a new religion about bidet.
I've been working on it.
Okay.
All right.
Let me know how
if
how
L.
when I
Ron
can sign
Hubbard
up.
can come up with what is it,
Scientology?
Scientology, yeah.
Give me 5 years. Give me 5 years. I'll have fucking Tom Cruise doing back springs on Oprah talking about the days.
Exactly.
All right. And this is going to conclude our part one bidet discussion, because it's not going to conclude our bidet discussion altogether, but for tonight it will. So if you want it, Dave, you were talking about 1,001 Nights.
Yeah.
This is it. You know, if ever you were held captive by like some crazy whatever guy who says, okay, we're going to get married and then I'm going to kill you the next day, just start talking about bidets. And then he'll be like, tell me more. And you'll be like, nope, I'll tell you tomorrow. And then that, like, it's your perfect way to survive.
I'll keep him in suspense. And the reality is,
yes.
my mission to spread the words of bidets is really just like the Tales of 1,001 Nights, because I know that eventually dysentery is going to kill me if everybody doesn't get bidets, because I'm just going to shit myself to death.
I also I want to say this, and I don't want to spoil the atmosphere of it. I also just love the way you say bidets. You're just like,
bidet.
Every time you say it, it's like the emboldened word in the sentence, like the bidet. I guess I would talk about bidets. So, Dave,
yo,
if people want to find you to hear more about what you have to say about bidets before the next episode, if you do have more to say about it, where can people find you?
The toilet.
All right.
No, they can look for me. The only thing I really do is I can be found on Instagram. My name is Dave. Wait a minute. No, that's not true.
Basically just Dave.
I lied. It's basically just Dave. It's not an explanation of my name. Like, hey, it's just Dave. No, the name is literally basically just Dave.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And Keith, where can people find you?
Well, when I'm not here or in the shitter, giving birth to something, I do a weekly podcast called Happiness in Darkness. We go over superhero movies based on comic books, graphic novels, and so forth. Last week we reviewed Red 2. This week we're doing Under the Red Hood with it's gonna be myself, Nick, and one other guest.
All right, great. Nick actually did invite me onto that one. Unfortunately, I am not going to have enough time to watch the movie, and therefore would not have much to say about it. I've been on a few episodes of that show, and I've listened to a few episodes. It is quite an entertaining show. I do enjoy Happiness in Darkness. As far as I'm concerned, you can find me on Facebook, John Seymour, JON space SEYMOUR. I am behind a drum set, holding 2 drumsticks out, making 8 fingers, and wearing a backwards baseball hat. Right, exactly. And what's today's date? The 12th. So we are going to be recording our Misery episode in 2 days. We're going to be recording on the 14th on Saturday. That would be me and Dave Aguilar and our dear friend Jen Ringler, who is also the resident Stephen King expert.
She definitely is.
Oh, she definitely is.
She's an authority on Stephen King.
Stephen King authority. And that's why the episodes are so long, because she has so much to say about it. Much as you talk about bidets, Jen will talk about Stephen King.
Adding value everywhere. We're adding value.
And on the 18th, we're going to be recording our episode about Cool World. That will be me and Will Saponaro and Ken Radner. And of course, we are adding a special guest, Aaron Cloutier, who was on the last bullshit episode. And let's see, Mad Tea Party is playing Defiant February 17th in Pearl River, New York. And don't miss the Sign of the Four reunion. This is going a little bit out of order. The Sign of the Four reunion, which is the Ronnie James Dio tribute with other stuff added in, such as Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. We're playing the Village Pub That's going to be in Lindenhurst, New York. That's Long Island. That's going to be Saturday, January 28th. Both of those shows start at 8 p.m. and they are not to be missed if you can help it. So thank you, Dave and Keith, and I will bid you a good night. Good night.
Going right to my bidet, kids.
All right. Take care.